Welcome, fellow plebs. My name is Sean, and this is
Tribunus Plebis.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tribunus Plebis podcast. This was going to be a New Year's episode with a nice little happy start, but some stuff happened today. It is January 6th right now, and there are a bunch of assholes running around the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. So the Happy New Year stuff will come a little later, probably, maybe on the weekend, I don't know. But I felt like I had to record something, as this is going on. So I will just say goodbye 2020 with your year of plague, isolation, depression, inferno, earthquakes, mass homelessness, failures of government, mass unemployment, and deep economic recession. Hello, beautiful, fresh, new, invigorating 2021 with your... Wait. What? Your invasion of racist chuds into the capital city of this country? Shit. All right, listen. Right-wing assholes attacked and occupied the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., and they essentially took it over. As far as I know, they're still there right now. The cops, they put up a brief, flaccid, so-called fight before basically just allowing them inside and abandoning their posts. Now, black people, they'll shoot dead in the street on a whim. But white folks actually invading the Capitol building of this country? Nah, it's all good, man. I mean, we saw this already in Michigan. Literally murdering a black man for allegedly passing a bad banknote. Just a straight up street execution. And then they go to a capital city and the cops are just passively allowing white men to invade the state capitol and literally spit in their faces. The racism here is impossible to ignore if you are anything close to an honest human being. Black people breaking a window? 45 cops will descend on them and beat and batter and restrain and kidnap them. They'll be lucky to get away with their life. A white guy in fatigues looting the actual Capitol building? Go ahead, bro. We good. Fist bumps all around. And why were these thugs even at the Capitol building? Well, the sitting president invited them. And why did these thugs attack and occupy the building? Because the sitting president asked them to. And why did the cops let them in? Because the cops and the rioters, they are not different people. A sitting president wanted a riot, he got one, and then the cops just chilled. This is America right now. And as these violent, terroristic thugs are looting the Capitol building, the president releases a video message to his minions. In this message, the president makes a fleeting call to go home and then spends a few minutes telling the thugs and criminals that he's on their side and that they are on his side. What a despicable human being. What a despicable fucking human being. All right, let's travel back in time a little bit to 2015. As it became clear that Trump was a real threat, and I mean threat, to win the Republican nomination, I warned people about this. An authoritarian, racist sociopath with nationalistic tendencies was not a good thing to elect to run a country, any country, let alone my country. On the night he was elected, I penned another warning. Throughout his term, I wrote and spoke many more warnings. I wrote a blog about how his rhetoric would lead to exactly this, exactly what we are seeing right now. And Trump fans said I was delusional, that I was suffering from something called Trump derangement syndrome. Yes, they actually use that term. What a bunch of smooth-brained dorks, right? But I kept saying it. I kept warning. And I don't say that now to try to sound smart. I'm repeating it because even a moron like me could see it. And I wasn't alone. A lot of people said it. They yelled it and they wrote it. It was obvious. It was so obvious. But Trump people would not listen. They could not listen. To listen and to believe would be to debase their own identity. Because you see, the Trump thing, it's a cult. And the sad reality with cults is that they end up in one of three places. Either the leader ends up screwing everybody's wives and it falls apart, it ends in suicides, or it ends in violence against others. And I think we now see where this particular cult is ending up. Now, rest assured, this is not a revolution. This is a riot. It's not even an uprising. They're supporting the status quo. They present no real threat to authority. These idiots bring no change in leadership, no new government, no new ideas. They actually want to further the same power that exists against democratic reality. At this point, I don't even think they really want to keep Trump in office. They're just kicking and screaming like toddlers. Trump is just some, like a vague idea off in the distance that they all sort of gather around and talk about. But he's not the real fucking issue. They're just acting out like the cowards that they are, and they will soon be gone until they act out again. These are the people Antifa was fighting against. A loose confederation of people who call themselves anti-fascists were trying to stop these people. They are anti-fascist. And these folks were put upon, and the law and government sided with the fascists. And the fascists are now in the Capitol building. This is why you never cede anything to fascists. This is why you fight them. Your default setting should be to be Antifa, to support Antifa. Yeah, I know some of you still think Antifa is the real problem, right? As the fascist president encourages his fascist followers to become fascist rioters and are allowed to riot by fascist cops, anti-fascists are still the real problem. As the fascists occupy the second most significant building in the American government, anti-fascists are still the problem. As fascists destroy the seat of government you claim to love, claim to swear allegiance to, but you sit aside as the fascists roam free and destroy it, because anti-fascists are the real problem. The people fighting against the people who are destroying your government are the real problem. If your head hurts hearing that, I am not sorry. Trump was more important to you than whatever idealized view of America you held. You're worshiping a false idol, a dictator in waiting, a fascist pig. We sowed hatred in this country. We sowed contempt. We sowed division. We sowed discord and racism and anti-intellectualism and anti-immigration and anti-everything not born or built in America. We sowed hatred of the media, of anyone not towing the party line, and in the end, we sowed hatred of each other. And this is what we get. We reap what we sow. There have been times when I've been embarrassed or maybe ashamed of being an American. And that's real talk right now. Sometimes it's just a constant, just regular flow of casual racism. Sometimes something specific like the reaction to Colin Kaepernick or to Black Lives Matter or to the concentration camps on the border or even just the general failures of our government. It's embarrassing. But I feel worse than that right now. Disgusted, maybe? Disgusted that we let this shit go this long. We let it fester, and now it's broken open. We've been like a diabetic who ignores a cut on their leg, and now it's gangrenous and the only option is an amputation above the knee when a small dose of antibiotics would have worked right at the start. Instead, we ignore the wounds. We pretend they don't exist. And when they start to redden and burn, we try even harder not to look. Maybe if we don't look, it will all just go away. But it never goes away. Never. We like to pretend that there is no racism because I never called no man the N-word. There is no racism because there is no law based on race. There is no class war because, hey, I have a boat. Look at my pretty boat. There is no class war because I'm not poor. There is no sexism because I know that there's this woman CEO out there. There's no sexism because my friend's wife makes more money than he does. And all these wounds that we ignore, that we never look at, they just fester. Then they get covered in pus and filth and they smell of death. And we continue to ignore them. Then one day they just burst open and the stench overwhelms us. And then the doctor is there with a bone saw in his hand. And I don't even know if this metaphor holds up anymore or even where it fell apart. But I think you get it. These dumb fucks have blinders on and cataracts to boot. It's a sad fucking day. A sad fucking times. Just sad. I'm sad. I'm really fucking sad right now. Now, this shit just happened this morning. And these are my first thoughts on it. So I know it might not be totally coherent and precise. I mean, the reality is that this is a fucked up situation. It's a weird situation. I did not see it coming. A bunch of my friends did, but I honestly kind of thought that they were overreacting. So I got a little egg on my face here, at least with them. And I'm sure that in the coming days and weeks, I will have some more coherent and precise thoughts on this mess, especially as we see the actual fallout and the actual repercussions of this violent act. But this is all I have for tonight. And that's it. As I end this, let's just all take a deep breath. Relax. The world's not ending. I hope. And, next episode will be, I'll probably address the New Year stuff, I guess. I don't know. But I just wanted to get this out there. So thanks for listening to me vent. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe. Fuck these bastards.